Hello and welcome to this new Java Lab tutorial. In this video, we'll want to cover the topic of an API gateway. An API gateway you will need whenever you have multiple microservices which you want to hide to the external application. Like you don't want to expose the address of these services to the external application, and this is why this is where the API gateway is coming into picture. And Spring Cloud provide a library using which you can define such kind of gateway. And here, if you go to the page getting started with Spring Cloud Gateway, you can read about the benefits, and also you will find an example there. Just go there and try to deep dive by yourself. As I told, an API gateway you will need whenever you have multiple microservices which you want to hide to the external application, for example, and you want to deal with messages routing and so on. And this is the benefit of Spring. This is the benefit of an API gateway. As usual, you can go to the Spring initializer and create your projects. I have done this already. I have here a multi-module project, which I call it Gateway, which includes three applications: App 1, App 2, and the Gateway application itself. In order to use the gateway, you have to include the dependency to the Spring Cloud Starter Gateway. And as I told, they have three applications, small applications, nothing special here, because we want to focus on the concept. I have here one service which has only a method, get message, and this is the implementation. You are accessing App 1 for the App 1 service implementation. And I have also one REST controller. The root part of the requests will be App 1, and they have here one get request method to this part, message 1, and whenever you call this one, you will get the message which is defined here. You are accessing App 1. The same thing I have done for application 2, App 2. And I have again here an App 2 controller. The root part is App 2, and again here we have a get method, a get request method, which will deliver a message also, and this message is provided here in the App 2 service implementation. You are accessing App 2. The App 2 application is running on port 9093. The App 1 application itself is running on port 9092. I've defined this here. Then the gateway application is running on port 9094. This is what I've defined here, 9094. And here inside this application YAML, I've defined the routing to my proper services. This ID, this is the prefix where Cloud will look for the routes. This is where the Spring will collect the routes. It's defined here in this class gateway properties, and as you can see here, he is expecting the routes to be defined below this prefix, and he will collect them in this list. Here I've defined one route. We have an ID for each route. We have an ID. As I told here, Spring Cloud is expecting the routes to be defined below this prefix, and it will collect them below routes. And this is how the route definition is looking like. You have an ID, you have a predicate, and you can define much more filters and metadata, URI, and so on. Yeah, the predicates, as I told you, have for each route definition, you have an ID, you have a URI in this case, and the predicates. The predicates is matching the paths. Like for example here, if I will call my gateway application on port 9094 with app 1 and message here, app 1 message 1, then it should route to HTTP localhost 9092 for the application 1. And the same here, if I call the gateway on port 9094 on app 2 message 2, for example, we'll see, then it should route to HTTP localhost 9093 app 2. This is the route definition. Spring Cloud has defined one class for that route definition. And as I told, this route definition is made of one IAD and predicates. The predicates are collected again into a list. And you can define much more filters, metadata, and URI where it should be routed. Yeah, nothing special in this application. Let's start now our gateway. Yeah, the only thing you need to make this application, all three applications, for all three applications are Spring Boot applications, and this is acting as a gateway because here in the build grid I have the dependency to Spring Cloud Starter Gateway. Let's start the application, the gateway application, and start application 1. Yeah. And application 2. So application 1 is running on port 9092. It's defined here as I told. Yeah, 9092. Application 2 is running on port 9093. It's defined here, and the gateway itself is running on port 9094. I've used here the configurative way to define the routes, but you can do it also programmatically. I will show it later. Now the gateway application has been started, the application 1 also, and the application 2. Now let's see what we will get. We can call, as I told, we can call directly the application itself, app 1 with the message 1 on its port 9092. Then we will get you accessing application 1. The same we can do with application 2 on its own port 9093. And you will get the message which the service will of the application 2 is delivering. You are accessing application 2. But we want to hide both services from the external application. That's why the gateway now, since the gateway has been started on port 9094, I can call now app 2 this endpoints from the app 2 message 2. Then I will get the you are accessing app 2, and the same I can do also with application 1. And as you can see here, you are accessing app 1. As I told before, I've used the configurative way in order to define the routes, but it's also possible to do it programmatically by creating a route locator, as mentioned here in this example. Yeah, you can define a route locator. As you can see here, this is the route. For each route you have a path. This is the path which would be matched. You can add request header, and you can forward the request to the proper host address you want to forward to. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you. Thanks for joining, and see you in further videos.